Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel, and here I teach and prepare students for uh, senior school certificate examinations and the Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination. So if you are a student who falls into any of this category, this is the right place for you. So I cover subjects along mathematics, physics, chemistry, biology, and even the social sciences as well. So stay tuned and watch out for my videos. In order for you to stay tuned and connected, it would be nice if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, turn on the notification bells, and so that when next I drop videos, you'll be among the first set of people to be notified. Without further ado, let's get into the video. So today's biology video, it's about asexual reproduction in plants. Now, before I go properly into it, I just want to talk about reproduction first. Reproduction simply means organisms giving rise to themselves, that is to new offsprings. That is ensuring that there is continuity. That means one organism is giving rise to an offspring. So basically, an organism is having its own children. That's what reproduction is. Now, the process of reproduction is important to ensure continuity of life and preservation of certain characteristics. So, what do I mean by that? If human beings don't reproduce, a time will come there will be no more human beings. If plants don't reproduce, a time will come there will be no more plants. That's what it basically means. And when human beings are reproducing, they must reproduce in such a way that certain characteristics should come out. So a man and a woman reproducing a child should not be that the child would come out having one eye. When the man has two eyes, the woman has two eyes. Then the child is coming out having one eye. Desirable characteristic is that the child must have two eyes, and so these characteristics are preserved. The same way it is for the plants. If two tall plants actually are cross-pollinated, or their gametes are fertilized, or somehow the two tall plants come together, it's expected that they should give rise to tall plants as well. That characteristic of tallness or height is what is preserved. Now, reproduction is basically of two types: sexual reproduction and asexual reproduction. In sexual reproduction, there is the need for gametes. There's a need for gametes. But in asexual reproduction, there is a need for only vegetative parts. And so, what are the characteristics now of asexual reproduction? Number one, only one parent is involved. There is no need for the male, there is no need for the female. Only the male or only the female can handle the reproductive process by itself. Then, no flowers are required. The purpose of flowers are for sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction. Flowers are not required in asexual reproduction in plants. Then, asexual reproduction occurs very fast. It's a rapid process. Then the offspring resembles the parent exactly. That means genetically, the offspring is just like the parent, completely like the parent. Which means if the parent had a disease, the offspring would exactly have the disease. If the parent had an unfavorable characteristic, the offspring will have that same unfavorable characteristics. That's what it basically means. Unlike sexual reproduction, the parent may have the disease doesn't mean the fact that a parent has the disease does not mean that the child would have that disease. It doesn't really mean that. So there would still be some differences. No matter how much you resemble your dad or your mom, you will not be exactly like her or him. Why? Because that's sexual reproduction. There are differences, there will be variations, genetic variations. So in asexual reproduction, there is no genetic variation. Then asexual reproduction is divided into two. We have natural vegetative reproduction, and then we have the artificial vegetative reproduction. So let us talk a little bit about the natural. So example, we have stem modifications. That means the plants naturally carry out asexual reproduction through their stems and through their leaves. Some of them through their leaves, some of them through their stems, and some of them through their roots. So for those plants that fall under the stem category, There are things like the rhizomes, the tubers, the corms, and the bulb. Example of the rhizomes, we have ginger. An example of the tubers, we have Irish potato, yam, yam, and so on. Then example of the corm is cocoyam. Cocoyam is doesn't fall under tuber. It is under corm. Then you have bulb. An example of this is the onion. So leaf reproduction, that means the plant is reproducing itself through what? Through leaf. A good example of this is bryophyllum. Bryophyllum. Then we have root reproduction. Root reproduction. That means the plant is reproducing through the roots. Through the roots. So you have sweet potato, you have dahlia plant. Now, looking at the artificial side, meaning that there's intervention of man in the process. So these methods are carried out by humans for agriculture and horticultural purposes. So one of them is cutting, stem cutting. So a part of the stem or leaf is cut out and planted elsewhere for it to grow. A good example of this is cassava and sugarcane. So you basically take a part of the stem, you cut it, then that part of the stem that you cut out, you go and plant it elsewhere and it grows into the new plant. Another example is layering. So in layering, you bend the stem of the plant and you bury it in the ground. That part that you bend, you bury it in the ground. You don't pluck it out, you don't disconnect it, you don't cut it. Just bend it and bury it, cover it, and then it will develop roots. After it has developed sufficient roots in the ground, then you can cut and disconnect them. Then you have example of this to be bougainvillea. Then you have the next one, which is grafting. In grafting, we have two parts. One part is called the scion, the other part is called the stalk. So you join the two parts together. When you join the two parts together, they end up producing the new plant. Then this process is used in mango, citrus, and pear. Then we have budding. In budding, what you basically have is that one part of the a part of the plant begins to grow out, and that part is called the bud. Then later on, you can cut out that bud, and that bud will develop into the new organism. So it's common in oranges and roses as well. So what are the advantages of artificial vegetative reproduction? What are the advantages of artificial vegetative reproduction? One, there's faster yield. That means artificial vegetative reproduction ensures that crops yield faster. Then it maintains desirable traits, and then it is useful in plants that do not produce seeds. There are plants that don't produce seeds. How can these plants be reproduced? Artificial vegetative reproduction helps in this scenario. So now I want to look at the advantages and the disadvantages of asexual reproduction. The advantages is that it is rapid form of reproduction. It occurs very fast. Then there is no need for pollination agents. You don't need to carry out pollination. No need for insects, no need for water, no need for wind, no need for animals to carry out pollination. Then it preserves parental characteristics. Everything the parent has, it transfers it directly to the offspring. Then it is useful in agriculture, as we saw in the last slide. It's useful in agriculture for reproducing. Then what are the disadvantages? There is no variation. There is no variation. There will always be extreme similarities. The offspring and the parent are just the same. No differences. And this increases susceptibility to diseases, which means if the parent has a disease, chances are the offspring will also have the disease. Then there's poor adaptability to environmental changes. Because there are no differences in characteristics, if the environment suddenly changes and that plant lacks specialized characteristics to help it cope, what happens is that that plant would die or would be consumed by those environmental challenges. Then overcrowding is possible as well. Overcrowding becomes possible. So these are the advantages and disadvantages of asexual reproduction. Thank you very much for watching this video, this lecture video on asexual reproduction. I hope you enjoyed it. Now, this is a short video, and there's a full lecture, a much full lecture, and a much better lecture in my um, WhatsApp channel, where I coach and I prepare students for the Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination. as well as the SSCE, that is those that are writing what is popularly called WAEC or JAMB in Nigeria. So if you want to learn more about it, maybe you are a student who is about to take this year's, the upcoming UTME or the upcoming SSCE, you can begin to prepare with us. Join my WhatsApp channel. The link is in the description box below. Once again, don't forget to subscribe, but also share this video with your friends and family members you think this video might be of help to. I very much appreciate it. Subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and God bless you. Thank you very much for watching. Until next time.